Addison Rae is the latest addition to this new era of pop girls taking the world by storm and basically setting the stage for what's to come for the rest of the decade. It did feel like a point a couple of years ago where it was like, do we know who the next big things are in pop music? And it felt a little bit like we didn't have that many names. But all of a sudden, in the past few years, we've had Chapel Roan, we've had Sabrina Carpenter, now we've got Addison Rae potentially coming through, Tate McRae as well, possibly Doechii, although she's more in the rap lane, but has clearly shown that she can make a pop smash hit too. Like, they all kind of came charging in at once. It was almost as if everybody in the music industry was listening to these conversations, which they probably are, by the way. They've got burner accounts, they're listening. And it felt like they were like, you know what? Let's push all our like hopes into these women. And yeah, let's get them smash hits. And looks like it worked. Addison Rae hasn't quite blown up in that same way though, and in the way that her team really were hopeful for. There's been a lot of singles prior to this album, and I think the amount of singles has just been them really pushing the songs in a way to hope one of them will take off. They've been popular, they've been making it onto the charts, and obviously popularity doesn't equal quality anyway, but when it comes to these like record labels wanting the mega pop star, the numbers matter to them, and I just think it's not quite happened for this album cycle yet. Maybe one song could blow up in the next few months. That tends to be the way, knowing the way that she promotes things on TikTok and stuff. One of them's probably going to catch on and have a second wind by the time, July, August comes around. We shall see. But yeah, it has felt like a lot of her core fan base has been very vocal, has been very excited for what she's about to do, but it hasn't quite, translated to like number one hits or top 5 or even top 10 hits. I've been a little bit on the fence with her. I like the EP, I will say that. But yeah, these new songs have been very hit and miss for me. I've liked a few, but then others I've just been like, I don't know, it's fine, it's okay. It's washing over me a little bit. There's nothing particularly bad about them, but there's nothing particularly special about them either. And one of the things with this album that I think is quite potent and prominent is just how much you're getting like clear and obvious influences like piling in on Addison. While that was the same thing with the EP, I thought we'd get to the point of the album where that might wash away a little bit, but no, I still feel like she's reheating nachos, as the young people say. May as well start with some of the singles, as they've been out a while. Diet Pepsi, I don't know if I've spoken about this on the channel yet, and it's okay, it's a nice vibe, it's very very laid back and chill, like almost like falling backwards how laid back it is. Seriously, it's crazily just so wishy-washy, and the lyrics, look, I don't want to hammer on the lyrics too much in this review, because I do feel like there is some self-awareness with her writing. I do think it's kind of trying to be post-ironic, and it's trying to be satirical at times. And God, please hope that is the case, because some of the writing on here, like, my boy's a winner. It's just so it is quite cringe to listen to. And when she's doing it in this really overly sultry and sensual voice, it is a little bit it takes you out of it a little bit. I would have liked more sensual lyrics to match her energy, because it just really feels a bit of an odd mishmash. But I think again there's a slight intention there. But yeah, I mean, the chorus comes in and I'm just thinking this is Lana Del Rey light, really. And I'm not even the biggest fan of Lana Del Rey, which has been a bit of a controversial thing I've said over the years. So when you're getting something that's just a somewhat I guess an homage to that, it's less exciting to me. And then that key change at the end just doesn't work for me. I'm not feeling it. High fashion was the thing I noticed that I wasn't too sure about Addison Rae, where I was like, okay, maybe it's this. And there are a lot of tracks where she doesn't do this, but Diet Pepsi and High Fashion are the two clear standouts where she does it. And it's when she goes into her upper register, she goes in these high notes, and I think it's slightly off-putting. I don't think she's a bad singer, I'm not saying that, but I don't know if she quite pulls it off. And I think that's why some of the songs feel a little like one in one ear, out the other, because the vocals just aren't maintaining or keeping my attention very much. So yeah, they're definitely two of the weaker singles, but for me, Aquamarine, that was like, okay, this is where we're at. This is my tempo. This is what I'm here for. Very clear, Madonna vibes coming through. That beat is pretty great as well. That Vogue inspired dance beat. And yeah, the vocals really work here, where she goes into that "Take me on." Like, again, she's reaching into her upper register, but she's not doing it in a way that feels a bit awkward. It matches the beat, it matches the tone of the song. The vocals sound great here as well. Like, yeah, this is more my thing, and that last chorus I think hits great. New York opens up the album and has a little bit of a similar vibe to it, with that more two-step beat, that kind of more like driving kick drum, which I think sounds really good. Gives it a bit more of a dance flair. Again, lyrically, like, she could open this song up a little bit more, just saying like, New York is her religion and stuff, that she just kind of repeats the same lines over and over. Again, when like this is one of the 5 new songs you're getting when you play the album for the first time, like, it is a bit of a letdown that there isn't a bit more substance to it. But musically, again, I think it sounds really good. Let's go into this with a little bit more detail as well, because this needs addressing, right? There were 5 songs already released before the album. 5 whole songs. There were 7 new tracks that were part of the album that we hadn't heard yet. So that's almost half the album already out. Near enough, thereabouts, right? And if that wasn't already a bit annoying enough, you've got 2 pointless interludes. I mean, pointless. Absolutely pointless. They do nothing. They add nothing. There is literally no reason for them to be here. So there you go. That's 7 tracks there. And then basically 5 new songs to hear. That's it. Like, that's not great, really. It's not a great ratio for an album. You could take the interludes away completely. For me, like, I'm not a hater of interludes. Clearly, that's a silly thing to be a hater of. But when they don't add to the depth of the album, they don't add to maybe the story, the concept, they are quite literally pointless. Like, just take them out. And yeah, we could have had those replaced with 2 new songs, so we would have got 7 new songs. Instead, we've got 5. It's just a bit like, it's not just an Addison Rae thing. This is a very silly thing in the music industry generally, so it's not just attacking her, but come on, that was just a bit poor and lazy. Some more positives though come in the Rain. I think the melody on this track is lovely. I think this is one of the stronger melodies on the entire thing. So yeah, definitely a nice treat to get in the mix of the album when that was a new song we hadn't already heard. Then of course you've got the headphones on, which I want to mention as another highlight for me. Very basic lyrics again, but I'm not trying to completely diminish those, because I can kind of see what she's going for, but it does match the vibe and the tone of the song. It's, yeah, very, very charming. The chorus, it feels kind of like it's taking you back to a nostalgic day in your childhood or something. Like, there's something really nicely nostalgic about it. Yeah, it's a lovely track. It's one of the better choruses, one of the better tunes on the whole album for me as well. I like Money Is Everything is another example for me where it's just like, she is clearly not being serious, man. The whole thing, the intro, where she's just yapping on and on and on. Like, there's definitely some self-awareness here. I'd like to see it tap into this a little bit more. I think there's a sense of humor there that is kind of coming through, but it's not like going all the way. And I think she could probably really, like, create some really funny tracks if she leaned into that a little bit more in the future. But I'm not entirely sure what direction she'll take. It feels like, yeah, this has been quite a long run up to a debut album. Diet Pepsi came out like over a year ago, so like, it's difficult to know if she's going to drop something soon after this and change her sound or do anything different. But for me, I think at this point it's solid. I think there could be some tidying up done, particularly maybe on the choruses with some of the vocals and stuff. Fame as a Gun for me, again, felt like the verses were good, but again, when she kind of does that more like pitchy voice on the chorus, it just doesn't quite land for me. I think the chorus could have really hit hard, and I don't think it quite lands for me personally. But I might be in the minority here because I think a lot of people are coming out of this loving it, so hey ho. My thing is just chill out for now. We don't want to do this again with a new pop girl coming through. We go crazy for the debut album, and then like we're not leaving them room to improve, to grow, to adjust, to maximize their potential, and eventually they could drop something truly great. Because at the moment, again, she's still kind of, you know, reheating nachos and just kind of falling a little bit too closely to her influences. Because a lot of these tracks, as solid as some of them are, I do feel like I'm sat here thinking I've heard this before. Like, it doesn't feel completely fresh and new to me. The Britney influence is clear on some of the songs as well, which I haven't even mentioned yet. Even the ending of New York had this kind of FK Twigs vibe to it. I don't know if she's even aware or, you know, a lover of FK Twigs, but I'd be interested to see if she does ever reference her, because I think there is maybe some isms coming through on some like moments on this album. Yeah, anyway, it's a solid album. I'm gonna go 6 out of 10. I think I'm sort of being as fair as I can be here. I enjoyed it enough to give it a solid positive rating, but I can't go any higher than that, man. Like, again, 2 interludes are pointless. Some of the tracks I'm not keen on the vocals. Some of the tracks I really like the vocals. Like, it's kind of a mixed bag, but on the more positive side. So I'm being generous here, I'd say. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's how I'm feeling. That is my review. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree, disagree? Yeah, what do you think? What's your favorite song? Have a good day. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video, and goodbye.